Right, all right, all right. Can y'all hear me? One time, one time. Yeah, it's on. It's on. Boy, it's a big situation. Got one in the house. Yeah, got one in the house. It's up. Can you hear me? Give me a one in the chat room if you can hear me. Because every time I be trying to do this, I be make it show. All right, all right. Appreciate that. One love. Glad you in. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have a good time tonight. I wanna give my condolences to young brother. Oh man, it's sad though, young homie Quan. I knew his family, some of his family anyway. And they from my little hometown down there in South Georgia. I didn't know Quan, but I knew his cousins and uncles and aunties and stuff like that. It's sad to hear, anybody passing, but he was out in the spotlight, and I like this music. Yes, I did. But it's sad though. But my condolences to his family. He's leaving behind his baby and his girlfriend and stuff, and brothers and sisters. Man, it's sad. It's sad. That's why, I love teaching. That's why I love that I started this channel so I can reach out to people and teach them some of the wisdom that I know. It's sad though. It's very sad. At 34, I got a son just a little bit older than him. Actually, my son the same age as him. I got one a little bit older than him. But anyway, my condolences. But tonight we got an awesome show. It's like I want to give a big shout out to one of my childhood homeboys, Hillcrest, Kennedy Drive, Bernard King. He sent me on Facebook a clip what this guy was saying, like, yo, the sun, he was dealing with the sun, and he said, if the sun is 95 million miles away, why space is dark? And, it was just like something popped off in my head. Like, I've been asked that question, because all the videos that they give us a dark background with the sun shining. But as you can see, and that's what we're going to deal with today, the sun and how it affects us and photosynthesis and things of that nature. Because the simple fact is, I know we haven't been told the truth. And so what we going to do today, we're going to explore a little further into the truth, because this thing is awesome. And a lot of people are aware of it, but they're not really paying attention to the proximity of the sun. And a lot of people don't really know what the sun is. It's a life force, true that, but it's not the original sun. Now, this is my theory, that the sun that is supposedly 95 million miles away, the sun that we see with our visual eyes, is the reflection. Now, that could be true. because a lot of stuff that we read, a lot of stuff we've been taught, it's been half truth. And that's what I'm here to expose today, because it don't make no sense. You know, if you just think about it, the sun being 95 million miles away is approximately 93.537 million miles away. That's how far it is. For it to shine the way it shines and to do the things it do, it's impossible. And the moon is only 238,000 miles away. So we got to realize that something ain't right. And that's what that clip made me just, man, I'm going to do a lecture on that. Because the simple fact is, if you don't know where you at and you don't know how the celestial bodies affect us, you won't know what to do. You won't know what medicines, herbal medicines. I'm not talking about the medicines in the pharmaceutical places. I'm talking about herbal medicines. I'm talking about how to operate down here on this physical plane, because all of us is only a reflection of our true self that is in the cosmos. Because the ancient people of this planet, now I ain't gonna say in other solar systems, but I'm gonna say in this planet, the true religion that they taught, and it wasn't no hidden truth, they just came out bluntly and told you stories about the cosmos. And if you listen to any of the ancient philosophies, it's dealing with the cosmos. It's dealing with the cosmos, everything. And that's why we got to understand how to interpret this Bible. Now, we're going to deal with Jesus, the S-O-N, the Son. Now, esoteric and metaphysically, Jesus is referred as both the Son of God and the Son of Man. Now, by him having that dual nameship, we're going to just use that dual nameship, it rose, a thought in my mind, because the simple fact is, God itself is energy, okay? And man itself come from the word man, come from the mind, which come from matter. And so, therefore, if you put spirit and matter together, you're going to get the soul, which is in Latin or Spanish, S-O-L is soul. It is the sun. It's talking about the physical sun that we see. Now, we going to do a little wordplay, because S-O-N mean the same thing as sun too. But it meaning a human being, a personality. So we got to jump and understand how the trick was played on us. And the thing is, I try to tell people, as above, so below. And once you realize that it was a cosmic union formed, now spirit and matter took place in order for us to have souls. The oversoul and the matter merged in order to have what we call baby, a soul. Now, here's what I want you to understand. When you see the cosmic dance that took place between divine matter, divine spirit, which is one, and they intertwine to produce what we call soul. The sun itself was birthed. 90, we're going to just say 95 million miles away or 93 million miles away. The sun we see is the reflection of the true cosmos dance we call male and female principle. Now they got the sun. This is what we ain't been taught. We have been taught that God, the creator force or the creator energy, was alone. That's not correct. That's not correct at all. It's a Trinity union took place. It was the Father, Mother, Son. And in the cosmos is 3 rays that comes down. And then them 3 rays, they branch off to 7 rays. And if you read the Bible and you go through the Bible, 7 is all through the Old Testament. And it's dealing with 7 rays. That's where we get the 7 notes in music. That's how we get the 7 colors in the rainbow. That's how we get the 7 fundamental principles of Hermes. All of these things dealing with 7. 7 is the number of completion. Now the sun, the number 1 represents the sun, and the sun represents Aries in astrology. So we got to understand all of this, because the simple fact is we dealing with a spiritual thing. Now, metaphysically, the sun represents spiritual intelligence. Light is always a symbol of intelligence. And the sun, the supreme source of light in man. Listen to what it says. The supreme source of light in man. See, what we don't realize, the light that is inside of us is connected to the light that is outside of us. And if I had some way to show you that your soul is so dynamic and so powerful with light, and I can show you that it looks just like the sun you see with your eyes. True fact. Now, it also deals with the soul. Why? When it say intelligence, your soul represents intelligence. It represents mind. It represents connection. It represents a whole lot of things. It's very unique, and it's got many usages for our human experience. And a lot of people don't realize that, because they're stuck on a belief system, which is okay to believe in order for your subconscious to receive it, in order for you to remanifestate whatever you desire on this planet. But the thing is, you got to know who you are and how things affect you. Now, the physical sun that we see with these eyes, not with your spiritual eye, your mental eye, is of light in man's world, represent the highest form of intelligence, spiritual intelligence. The moon, which symbolizes the intellect, receives all its light from the spiritual intelligence. This is the true source of all light. Our individual mind is quickened to the extent that we may it receive to the influence of the light of spirit. What it's saying is that we know that it's a photosynthesis taking place from the sun through vegetation in order for us to get oxygen. The sun gives energy to the plant life. The plant life gives energy to the trees and the animals. And they call that photosynthesis. And that's what we got to deal with, because not only do it affect the plant life, the sun affect us. They're just keeping it real. Try to go in total darkness, no light, no sun, and see how long you're going to last. Total darkness will kill a human being. You'll be took off this earth. That's real. And what people don't realize, because it taps into our soul through the eyes. That's why the Bible say your eyes is the window to the soul. If you don't look at the sun sometime during the day or during the week or whenever you can, it'll affect you in a certain way. Because you got to remember that the sun produces through your eyes serotonin in your body. In order for you to produce serotonin in your body, you then, when at nighttime, it produces melatonin. In order for us to operate and function on this planet. And it does the same thing with the trees and with the vegetation life. Let me tell you, photosynthesis is a process by which plants and some bacteria use sunlight energy to convert carbon dioxide and water into sugar, glucose. And when we eat it, that's what helps us. When we eat the plant life, from the glucose, it helps us and keep us in harmony. Okay? Now, the glucose releases oxygens. We get oxygen from the vegetation, and we get the glucose. We need glucose. All right? As a byproduct, essentially created their own food using light energy. And that's why I tell people we are energy. We are light beings. We are the intelligent energies. That is, our soul is generating this body around us. And that's what we got to understand. A lot of people is not comprehending what we truly are. We getting it from the sun. We getting this from the sun. Now let's go to and in this I want to show you the male and female process. See, when I study Hinduism, all of the Hindu gods got mamas. All of them got mamas.
Oh my God.
If you go to the Kemetic, Ra, he had a wife. Everybody got women in their cosmology. All of them got women in their mythology. All of them got women in their personification of their deities. They got that. Christianity is the only one saying that our God is a loner. He don't need no woman. And this is what is crazy. See, people don't realize as above, so below. Why would God itself not merge with the energy we call magnetic? You cannot do it. And if it was going to produce anything outside of itself, it will have to merge and become that Trinity. That's how this works. And this is how we work. That's why people say we are mind, body, and spirit. That's what it is. Spirit is soul. And this is how we got to operate and understand ourselves. Now, a lot of people don't want to grab this new information, but this is the time to grab it. Why? Because we're in a new age. You're gonna see eventually religion is gonna be a byproduct. It's gonna be byproduct. People are gonna get more intuition. They're gonna get more telepathic. They're gonna get more connected to the divine realm than any time before. This is what the age of Aquarius brings. It brings that kind of energy. We're gonna be not only solving problems, we're gonna be able to create while we solving problems. Yeah, this is real talk. But we got to know what we're working with. If you don't know what you're working with, then you ain't going to know how to work it. You're going to need a trainer. And it's sad. You know, just like I said earlier, I don't know Quan's mama or daddy, but I know this country. I know the people in it. I know the poison they don't put in us and keep us as poor as they can mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And that's why we got to overpower and not just be victims and be victorious in our pursuit of our higher self. You can't play with the time that you have. And that's what people don't realize. And information is going to help you think about yourself. Because self is soul. And everybody should fall in love with their soul. Everybody. Everybody should. Now, the sun dealing with the chakra system is dealing with the solar plex. It rules the solar plex. And the solar plex is connected directly to the sun. All chakras got a ruling planet over it. These seven rays, right? Sun is soul and soul. That's right. And that's why you got a soul on your feet and you got a soul in your body or around your body, because it's everywhere. The soul is everywhere on you. It's in your aura field. It's everywhere. Let's go. I like that. So now, when you're dealing with the third chakra from the bottom, which is the solar plex chakra, you're dealing with sun, and you also dealing with yellow. That is the color of that chakra. Well, what color is the sun? You get me? So we dealing with cosmology that will help you understand your anatomy. And when you understand your anatomy and understand all of these things, you will push back on things traditionally taught for you to eat, for medicines for you to take, the way you sleep, the way you operate down here. And what that do, that helps you become the, I'm going to say, the vehicle that you need to become in order to be your highest self on this planet. And that's your God self, because you already that. But it's a development that we got to go through because they put us in a retarded state all over the planet. It ain't just in America. It's everywhere. So we're dealing with the solar plex. The solar plex is a nervous center in the body that performs several vital, serve several vital functioning. And this is what we got to remember. Everything that you have accumulated with this body is needed and is vital. This thing's supposed to be running like a fine-tuned automobile, what we call the body, mind, and spirit. And when we in harmony, when we in the highest self, then we can do and be and have the things that we desire on this planet. But you got to know the organs function. The solar plex helps keep organs that, like the stomach, liver, kidneys, and adrenal glands, functioning smoothly. This thing, what we call the sun, a reflection of what we call the Christ. It's out there. And the reflection it gives off is the sun itself. And that sun itself affects us in a positive way in our solar plex, which is that solar plex chakra. When it shoot that ray off in there, it gives us vitality for our organs to run smooth. That means no pains. It's running. Everything you putting in it is using the minerals and the energy from that, and all the waste is kicking it out. That's how we supposed to be operating. Because in order for you to be the God of this planet, you got to be operating in the highest level. Mentally, spiritually, emotionally. All of this got to line up to your cosmic self. And what they don't did is put stumbling blocks to retard us all the way through. And now the Virgo here to tell you how to come on through. We got to start from the root chakra and come on up. We got to. Ain't no other way. And the solar plex also, it's a stress response. The solar plex prepare the body for a response of stress. It sit right before your stomach over here, right over here. This is where your stomach sit at. This is your intestine down here. But over here, it sit right over here, and all the stress that's finna come to you, it give you the right response because it's a ganglion center of nerves. And your nervous system go all the way through your body. And this is what the sun produced for us. And it helps us control our solar plex. Stress by making changes to digestions and metabolism, which changes can trigger a flight response or other response like freeze or faint. See, when you get in a stress out situation, your solar plex, when it hit your pituitary gland, you either finna fight or you're gonna run And these are natural. But freezing or fainting, no. It prepares you for that. It prepares you for that. So if somebody is attacking you or something like that right there, you either going to fight, run, or you're going to faint, or you just going to freeze up. This is all for our benefit, for our good. Hormones response. The solar plex works with hormones in the body, triggering a quick response to physical injury or trauma, such as floods of cortisol into our body. This is, we don't call it photosynthesis, but that's what it is, because the chlorophyll that is in your body responds the same way. I mean, the chlorophyll that is in plants responds the same way as the melatonin responds to us. And this is how we are built up, this physical body. Yeah, I can go on for days on that. For days. Directing nothing from the human body, as humans cannot perform photosynthesis. I just said that we can't perform it themselves. However, it is crucial for humans' survival because it produces the oxygen we breathe and the food we eat by eating plant matter. Now, that's what I said about matter and spirit. When they say the Son of God, they talking about spirit. When they talking about man, Son of Man, they talking about matter. And these two merge. What it's saying is depicting the male and female principle, the electromagneticism that is in all of us. And in the cosmos, these rays, these three rays come down, they shoot out into 7. And if you look at any Hindu or any Asian cultures, you're going to see the 7 snakes coming out of the head of one of their deities. Now, these 7 snakes is representing the 7 rays that come down and affect us and give color to all, because all of them got 7 different colors and they blend together in order to make this construct what we call Earth. This is how we rocking. They don't want to tell you all this, because if they tell you this, then you will start asking more questions. And when you start asking more questions, you're going to gain more knowledge. Now, it gives us oxygen. We breathe and the food we eat by creating plant matter through the convergence of sunlight into energy. Listen what it do. Matter through the convergence of sunlight into energy, essential forming the base of the food chain that human relies on. Everything converts back to what you eat for energy. We eat to have energy in order to function. So when the sunlight hits the plant do its thing, produces and stores the energy from the sun. And when we consume it, then we get strong and we can conduct ourselves and do the things we need to do. That's what make us heroes. It wasn't they can't stop that. It's automatic. As long as you can listen, if you can go without eating for a pretty long time, as long as you can get in that sun. Listen to what I'm telling you. You can go without eating a pretty long time, as long as you get in that sun and you drink some water. You can't do it out that water now, because we're 75% water. We need the water. But that sun is producing what we need. And I'm going to tell you this. The sun is closer to the earth than we can even imagine. And I hope I kept this slide up. And I know I didn't. I jumped on something else. Yes, I did. Well, I'm going to tell you what you really got to think about. The Van Allen belts that is above us. If the sun was 93 million miles away, we would not get the earth would not get the potency that it gives us right now. We'll be in trouble because the Van Allen belts will hinder it from shining in and doing the magic it does for us right now. True fact. So that's why I know. That's why I know that the game they've been playing with us, telling us that the sun is 93 million miles away. Oh, that's been a game. Just like they try to tell us that the earth is moving, but the sun and moon ain't moving. Boy, y'all crazy. So I got on this because my homeboy, son, he tripped me out with that one. But let's deal with the moon, what the moon is. Because see, what we don't realize that, and I'm going to just say it this plain, we got 13 solar systems, what we call zodiacs, because it's 13. They telling us it's 12, but it's 13. And all of them is side up like a big clock over our head. The sun is the minute hand. I mean the hour hand, Haru, and the moon is the minute hand. And these, it's simple. The ancestors, they understood all of this and they left it for us, but it was distorted. The information is distorted. And if you go in the scriptures of the Bible, of the Quran, all of this stuff is there, but they ain't gonna point it out to you. You got to find it for yourself. Now the moon, personal intelligence. This is your persona. This is the intellect. Its light is, let me tell you something. The sun intelligence is on the outside because it's electricity. The moon intelligence is on the inside because it's magnetic force. And that is what we create out of electromagnetic energy. That's what humans create out of. His light is supplied by the sun. The symbol of spiritual intelligence. This influx of spiritual intelligence has regulate periods of flooding the consciousness. See, that's on the inside, and there is a definitive relationship between the body consciousness and the moon. That's why them 28-day cycles, we be up and down. Everybody go through it. See, it's so subtle for men to go through these moon cycles, but women, you can see it more when they go through their moon cycles, but men go through it too because we got estrogen inside of us. So it's going to move that estrogen. And then we got testosterone, but we got a more abundant of testosterone. But women got more estrogen. That's why you can see the effect of the moon on them more than you can on men because they got less testosterone. Simple mathematics. Everything downhill that man did not create or touch is for our good. I keep telling everybody that. You just don't know how to use it. You don't know how to receive it because you're not been taught that. Everything is for our good. So you. I'm going to see if this works. Y'all help me out now. I got that link up there. Y'all see that link? Who want to come aboard and chat? I want to see if I could do it. Don't be shy. I ain't going to bite you. I don't know if that link worked. Somebody hit it. Let's go further till somebody get brave. Now let's go back to, and I'm going to beat this horse dry till, oh my God, what is this? Ain't even it. Now we're going to go to this word, Yahweh. The original Hebrew from Jehovah. Now we know that there's no J in the alphabet of the Hebrew alphabet, and they place that in. Now, okay, maybe I'm okay. That's link is a dog channel. Okay, I'm gonna have to regroup on that. Y'all work with me though. I'm gonna get better at this. Jehovah is, and we know that Jehovah was Yahweh in the real original text because there wasn't no J back in the day. But what I wanted to point out and illustrate, and I want to illustrate this to people so they'll realize we dealing with energy. And when I can find, let me see. Okay. The I am, the spiritual man, the image and likeness of the Elohim. Now, this is the same thing I was telling you about. The Jehovah is a male and female principle. Okay. And and then you got the sun itself. And then you have the Elohim, which is the 7 cosmic rays that come down here. See what they have done in the scriptures. They taught us about these things, but they did it so underhandedly that we couldn't comprehend. Because you got to remember now, the people in the West Hemisphere, we did not come from this English-speaking tongue. And so trickery they could easily trick us with this belief, because our ancestors accepted these folks and took in this information. And guess what? They even did their own people wrong, because back in them days, couldn't nobody read nor write in Europe but the priests that went over to Egypt. True fact. And learn from
Oh my God.
And learn from the real people. And then when they opened the prisons and the mental institutions and sent them over here, them people didn't have no clue what was going on. That's why I tell people, you got to learn to love, because them peoples did not know, and they children right now don't know what happened to them, just like we don't know what happened to us. And we got to come under one thing, because I told you earlier, the sun represents one. In gematria, if you look it up, it represents one. It represents one. So we ain't got but one sun, so we got to have unity, and una in Spanish mean one. So we can't hate nobody. Hatred is a bad energy, a bad frequency. And so what I'm trying to say is, this energy that is coming to us is for our perfection. It's not to destroy us. It's to help us have a more balanced spiritual experience to perfect the soul. All of this, everything. And when your soul going through this perfection stage, you start realizing the awareness that you truly are. And that's what we got to do. We got to step back from, and I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to be bold to say it, all religions. We just got to grab the information that triggers us, and then we need to go somewhere and meditate and ask the oversoul. Is this true information? Is this what I need? But it'll register with your soul, but it's good to get the confirmation from the divine source. See, it's time out going through the middleman. I'm like Jim Jones. Jim Jones say on we said to Trina, I don't want to talk to you. I want you the middleman. I want to talk to the boss. I'm tired of talking to the middleman. So that's why I tell people, you got to meditate. That's the only way you're going to get out of this realm. Welcome to the real world. You ain't finna get out of here physical. You got to get out of here spiritual. And the only way you're going to do that is through meditation. And you can get the answers that you truly want and truly need. And that's what people ain't working with. They working with everything external. When I'm telling you, everything that is in you, everything that is in you is for your usage to get your soul right, so you can ascend the proper way and help other people learn their lessons. Because we all down here, this is a big classroom. But the sun is out in place for two purposes. And it might be more, but these are the ones my theory came up with. Is first, in order to infuse us it through the solar plex in order to keep our nerves generated and everything running smooth in the body. That's the first thing. And to let us know that we might be on our own, but we're not alone, that the eye of Ra is with us everywhere we go. That's what them people knew. And I told y'all on the last video that I was going to put the video of Angkor Wat when I was over there in Angkor Wat. And I did the video of the early sun rising. It's already on my page. Just go to the videos and you can look it up through them videos. It's already on my page. I forgot I put it on them. So did. And it's so beautiful. It's only 17 minutes long, and you will see how that sun rises over Angkor Wat. Man, it's, oh my God, it was awesome. But anyway, when we dealing with the sun, you got to understand we live in a solar system. Soul. Somebody put it in the chat. Sun is soul. Sun is soul. We dealing with a sun. That's why back in the day, Ra was worshiped and personified. That's why in Hindu, Surya, Surya, was deified because of the simple fact is they was representatives of God. And all of these things, Jesus, same thing. All of the religions are the same. Just like Allah in Islam, people don't realize that Allah is a male and female principle. You got to research, study it. And that's what it's about. And the solar plex also deal with anxiety. It deals with your anxiety. When your solar plex chakra is blocked, you're going to get very anxious. You ever seen somebody leg that's jumping? A solar plex is that nervous system is working overtime. And that's how it is. You got to understand the second chakra is the emotional body. Okay. Then the third chakra dealing with the etheric body. And that's where we got to start at, I believe, with the root chakra. The root chakra is the base chakra, and it's, well, let me make sure, because I don't want to say the wrong thing on that one, because it's very powerful. Get that right. Yeah, that's right. The second chakra is dealing with the emotional body. Okay? Well, what the emotional body, that is where you started in order to loose up the third chakra, which is the etheric body, which is the solar plex chakra. So therefore, when you open up and get your emotions under control, then you can move up and get your etheric body under control, and it'll stop affecting your anticipations and your when you think about the past and how you begin all depressed and all this stuff, it'll stop all of that once you get your emotional body in check. Get out in the sun, walk in the grass barefoot, these kind of things. All of this is designed for us to have a wonderful experience, but we gain the body a bad credit and we gain ourselves a bad experience. All the things on this earth is provided for us from day one, before we even left from the cosmos and came down here. The universe already set up for us to survive, succeed, and prosper and be in good health. But we got away from it and started listening to other people. Because I'm tell you something, we learning all this stuff, and maybe we're gonna have to pass it on to the babies. But if you think about a man sitting out in the jungle, he ain't thinking about none of this. Because he already in that natural state of consciousness where all this stuff just come in time. He don't have no books to read about it. He don't have no videos. He don't have nobody giving lectures. All he have to do is his experience. Look up in the stars, look out in the forest, look under the rivers. He experiencing it. Is it more valuable? I think so. When you experience it, it's the best teacher in the world. And so many people have misunderstood what the sun really is. And a lot of people don't even know in the wintertime, the sun is further away from us than it is in the summertime. Big facts. Check.
Oh my God.
A lot of people don't know that. It's closer to us in the winter time than it is in the summer. And a lot of times when people don't study and don't understand how to line it up in syncretism, what is for them, then they on the left side of thinking, they're not on the right side. And when you get on the right side of thought, then guess what? Your subconscious start consuming all the good information. Then you start feeling better. Then you start doing better. Now you walking in your Christ consciousness. Now you walking on this planet like a God. Because why? Because you moving things. You organizing. Because that's one of the major things that we supposed to do. We supposed to take chaos inside and bring it out in order. If you ain't in your godly self, and if you ain't producing godly thoughts, you ain't going to be able to do that. One thing you got to do is go back and just inside and meditate and try to take all the stuff that you possibly can get out of you that is not serving you and not working for you, and then replace it with the things that is, and enjoy your beautiful life. That's what you're supposed to be doing. But they got us watching Jay-Z, they got us watching Lil Wayne at the Super Bowl, and they got us doing this, and we got to work 15 jobs to provide for us. We don't have time for our own self. And it's affecting our central nervous system, our solar plex, our emotional body. All of us guilty. But we got to rise to the occasion. And when somebody come to me and tell me this earth is not flat, it's a ball. When I can look out of my window or walk outside and see them stars, and the next night them stars ain't gonna be there because they're gonna be don't move. I just don't understand. And you know what I looked up today? And this is amazing. Angkor Wat, I love that place. For some reason, just touched the spot in my soul. But Angkor Wat is in line with the Draco constellation. Just like the pyramids in Egypt is aligned with Orion, so is the pyramid down in Mexico, the Sun and Moon Pyramid down there. Teotihuacan down there is on Orion's belt. Chichen Itza is lined up with Venus. The true understanding of this cosmology and of ourselves is through the stars, because all of us stars. You're so awesome in your way of the way the universe created you. You came from an awesome source. The source is so awesome and unique, and it uses a matter that can create everything on this planet just by thought. And we got the same capability because we came from the same source. The mother, father principle is us. We in that twine. That's why they call it a trinity. Just like in Hinduism, it's Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Over here, we got the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. In Hindu, in Kemetic teaching, they got Horus, Ra, and Isis. It's the same thing. I ain't went to China and Japan yet, but I'm going. It's Trinity. And when they talking about the Trinity, they either leaving out the female principle or the baby. But you can't do it. Now, them teachers ain't, but in America they is. In the Western countries. It's dealing with cosmology. That's the only religion that man knew and man can comprehend. I'm going to say that again. That is the only religion that man knew and that he can really comprehend. Because if you read the Vedic text, if you're not born into that sage era, you're going to get lost. Just like people lost with the Bible, just like people lost with the Quran. All these texts was dealt in a time period that our comprehension ain't even qualified in some areas to even deal with. But they saying it's God. I did too. But I'm going to tell you that the thing you got to study is yourself. And when you get through studying that again, study it again. And they're going to tell you everything. Why? Because you're on a quest. And when you get on that quest, you got to find the answers. Some nights you ain't going to be able to sleep because you want them answers. And that's good. That is good. When you want to get on an airplane and go way across the world for an answer, that's good. From the cradle to the grave, we should be seeking wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. But I want you to know that knowledge can be a hindrance too. And that's what they're doing right now. They're flooding us with so many different avenues. And I know it's so many different gods on this planet, and they can take it all. But you got to get in the genre what fits your soul and your maturity in spirituality. You got to get there. And all these tricks or techniques of manifestation, you ain't going to manifest until you get everything lined up. Everything else is going to come naturally. either by work or naturally gifts. But once you get it in your mind, you can bring it down here. That's your talent. Everybody got that. Because the universe is so divine and wise, it put everything for you to prosper and be successful right here on this planet. Sometimes we just don't know. But sit still. When you don't know, just sit still and be silent and see what happens. And keep a positive mental attitude. That's the problem. We let everything take us off focus. Everything. Every time we get going good, here go the phone. Then you get through with that. Then here goes somebody coming over. Everything is getting us off focus. You got to get to the point where you say, boom, I don't want to hear it. For this hour right here, this is what I'm doing for myself. And when I get through with this, I deal with all this that's coming around. That's how you got to live this life. And when you get clarity within inside you, then the next step is going to be simple. That's when you're going to start creating. But if everything is murky and you don't have no clarity, you're not creating. Clarity is after awareness. You got to be aware first who you are, who your identity, how you is connected to the universe and how the universe will respond and how you should respond to the universe. This is how we got to operate. And then when you start creating, then you'll start seeing the manifestations. But it got to have a clear, you got to have a clear message or signal going out. Even the Bible said it. Now let me tell you, when I talk about the Bible, I don't belittle the Bible, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, the Vedic text, or any Kemetic text. I believe when it hit my soul, I need that information for that period. And a lot of stuff I read and a lot of stuff I listen to, sometimes I take it in and it don't suit my soul. It goes right out. I don't even think about it no more. But with the Bible, I understand what I got to do with it. And what I got to do with it is show people from that point of view, because that's people don't, you don't know about the Rig Veda. Some people don't. Some people don't know about the Bhagavad Gita or Taoism or Confucius. They don't know about stuff. So I got to use the Bible in order to help people understand that the God you're looking for is right inside of you. It's right inside of you. The version you need. Because your true self is somewhere meditating, and they call it in a sleeping state, somewhere meditating, and you having your soul to mature. So when you get your soul mature enough and you put it in your true self, because this body, this activity you're going through is just a reflection of the thought process that your true self is going through. You are down here like an incubator to get this soul familiar with all kind of things and all activities and everything and movement and thought and thinking and loving and feeling and little hugging there, little hunching there. You getting this soul correct. So when the soul leave the body and go back to your true self, It'll have experience. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. So whatever you need in this process, once you get clarity, send it to your true self, and your true self say, okay, well, okay, you want that fancy car right there? Why you want that? I just want to experience that. Don't you want to experience it? And then they're going to say, yeah, okay, all right, let me make it. Mama, go ahead, because mama is the matter. Mama, go ahead and fix that up for her. And what we call spirit going to start moving people, moving things, and moving your finance and everything, and you're going to get to experience that car. That's how this work. That's how this work. And that's what we got to remember and observe. Scientific method, observe everything going on in your life. Observe it. Don't observe sound like preserve. Well, you're going to need it later. That's what I'm telling you. And when you need it later, it's going to be on your memory bank, and you can just pull it out of the bank because you can write a check and just get that memory out there and just say, listen, I need that because guess what? I observed this, and this is how I'm finna experience this. This is what our life is based on. Ain't nothing down here to hurt you. That's the trick of getting out of your lower chakra, because it's something, like I was saying on the other video, it's trying to ease up on you and keep you in the lower chakras because it want to play down here a little bit longer. It don't want you to go to the higher chakra, because once you get past the heart chakra, game over. Game over. Game over. When you get past, I don't care what you say, I love you. I don't care what you do, I forgive you before you do it. Once you get your heart as God would do for you, do unto others as you would have them to do unto you. I'm going to tell you this now, protect yourself at all times. Now, if they physically, okay, get at it. But what I'm saying is, you wise enough, intelligent enough that you can maneuver without physical contact. But once you have a heart of love for your neighbor, your family, your friends, and a love for universal love and people you don't know, and you get past that heart chakra, guess what? Game over. Once you get past that. So that thing that trying to creep in and keep you down, it ain't going to win because you already victorious. And that's another thing. If you wake up every day and tell yourself I'm victorious, I'm not the victim, I'm powerful, I have supreme authority in this universe, I am sovereign in this universe, you have less power. And another thing, mother and father. Don't just say father or don't say nothing at all. Mother, father. That's electromagnetic energy that you calling or summoning into your being in order for you to rock on. You cannot rock on without the energy. I'm sorry. You ain't got to call it God, call it mom and dad. That's what I do. People got this thing so high tech. They got it so high tech where people can't comprehend it. In order for them to increase in intelligence, they got to first comprehend something in order for them to gravitate to more intelligence. You're just not going to accumulate intelligence by reading just one book. You ain't going to do it. You were sent down here with a form of intelligence, highly intelligent, and then guess what? You still need to add on. Why? Because you got to accumulate. You got to accumulate. If you want to stay the same, well, you're going to get the same thing. But if you add on to your knowledge inch by inch, you will be able to keep elevating. You ain't got to go at your own pace. Play at your own risk. But my thing is this right here. The solar plex is the next right before you get to the heart chakra. Okay. It's right before that. And it's connected to the heart as well. Your nervous system go all the way through your body. Your chakra system go all the way through your body. Your whole body, we gonna say, is just a big nerve. And once we can get up to that level where the heart chakra, when we see pure love for everything, pure love for everybody, every creation, we just see God in everything, and we in everything, and everything is just dynamic. Then guess what? My brother Sanchez, he doing a lecture on the lower self. And I'm just going to say this. Flat power to the brother. When you need the lower self, once you don't master the lower self, then you can call the lower self up anytime you need it. That's when you got to defend yourself or whatever. You got to have the lower self, because the higher self is just this. This all.
Oh my God.
Listen, the higher self, all it want to do is, brother, God bless you. Yeah, love you. Yeah. That's the higher self. But the lower self will get down, get busy a little bit, keeping it real. But what we want to do is we want to have love in our heart. And we want to overcome the lower self with love. You still got to love the lower self. You got to love everything about your being. You got to love everything and talk to it like it's a piece of gold. You got to talk to it like it's a plant, like it's a dog or animal, to the point where you showing kindness and love to your legs, your body, your arm, your head, your eye. Talk to these things, because they're here for you to use. That's why I say love thyself. Self is everything. It's not just an invisible energy. It is everything. Listen, spirit connected to matter. Okay? That created soul. Soul is still got a part of matter on it. So it gave you the outer body, what we see, but it still got spirit on it. So now it's the spiritual, angelic things that we cannot see is connected as well. So you can't have a like for the spirit but hate the body. That is contradicting. You got to have balance. And when you have balance, you have begun to have clarity. And once you get to that clarity point, now you finna go to the creative point, when you can just think of a thing and it's going to transpire in your favor. Yeah, this real talk. And when you get to that creative point, the next level is manifestation. That's why we see all these old cathedrals all over the world. I always talk about them, but it is just amazing. All over the world, you see the same cathedral in Egypt, in Africa, in China, in South America, in America. You see the same Colosseum kind of structures all over the world. And I know we didn't build them not in the 1800s, but the whole thing is the people that prior possessed all of these land masses we call Earth, they was on a whole higher spiritual level of manifestation, because some of them buildings is so unique, and some of the statues is damn near alive with uniqueness, beauty. And in our day and time, we ain't have time for that. So I know that the levels of spirituality, we ain't even begun yet. We just scratching the surface. As we get further in the Aquarian age, it's going to start manifesting better and bigger and brighter. But we got to get to the heart chakra. We can't stay at the solar plex. We can't stay there. We can't stay at the sacrum. We can't stay at the root. We got to get up there, because this is what is dictating. Why? Because individual consciousness, that's fine. We move into group consciousness, face to face, mano to mano. And that's what we need. Why? Because if all of us come together with like minds and we say we're going to create something, it's going to get created super fast. That's what we finna move to. And you heard it here first, the Virgo TV. I'm telling you, we finna move that way. That's what the age of Aquarius brings. Group consciousness. And then the next level we're going to go is universal consciousness. They can't stop us. You are the most important thing on this planet, and you tell yourself that every day. Ain't nothing on this earth besides you have supreme authority. With that being said, I love y'all. Peace. Know thyself, love thyself, and be true to thyself. Peace out. One love.